one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado,
free smoke.
Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience.
Yo, it feels good to be back in the Western Conference Finals. It really does. It feels, and I've been listening to a lot of wild, buffoonish, bozo, goofish takes today by the same old goofy ass analysts. Boy, but what a night! What a game! What a game one. Now listen. Matter of fact, no, I'm not saying that. Listen, how everybody doing tonight, man? How everybody doing tonight? How was the day? How was the afternoon? How the fuck is the night? It's time for us to kick it. Yo. So Golden State won game one of the Western Conference Finals tonight. But we're going to talk about that game. But first off, I want to address something. Nick Wright said on his own First Things First today. And I didn't even, I legitimately just got this clip sent to me an hour ago. Because I really don't watch that show most of the time because I done said it so many times, bro. Nick Wright is a terrible analyst. I truly believe Nick Wright is terrible at what he does. But it's crazy to say that. He's great at what he does. He's terrible at what you think he is supposed to be doing. A sports analyst is one thing. He is not a sports analyst, in my opinion. He talks sports, but he analyzes LeBron James, and that's it. Because a lot of the shit he do, and even Chris Broussard alluded to it today, he say shit that makes no sense. He put these weird ass type of stipulations on people. He boosts people up who we know he really don't feel a certain type of way about. But if you really realize what he's doing is you realize a couple days later, I see why he said that. I see why he did that. I see why he said that weird thing or made this weird stipulation. Because it was all coming back to ultimately help LeBron James. That's it. And I don't even have a problem with, analysts loving LeBron James. LeBron is a great player. My problem is when you love a player so much that you are just completely biased. You see it leaves everything you say. It's like Skip, bro. This motherfucker talking about a whole different subject, but he gonna mention the fact that LeBron didn't make the playoffs this year. The topic can have nothing to do with LeBron, and he gonna find a way to tell you LeBron didn't make the playoffs this year. And I'm like, yo, these two motherfuckers and Max Kellerman, I'm gonna put a tweet on the slide tonight, bro. Cause this woman tweeted something on Twitter today where she was like, yo, the worst analysts in the world, a list. Nick Wright, Skip Bayless, Max Kellerman. Them the only three names I needed to see on that motherfucking list. Deadass. Them the only three names I needed to see on that list to just make sure I wasn't tripping all these years. And, you got analysts who are, worse than those three specifically, but they ain't on TV as much. I could say Kendrick Perkins was on her list also. But I could say people like Jason McIntyre. Terrible analyst. Not on TV enough for me, and I don't see him enough to put him on this list. If he was on TV enough, I would think he was one of the worst analysts on TV. Because when he used to be on TV a lot in guest spots and shit, I was like, this dude is moronic. Jason Whitlock. Obviously, we know this coon is atrocious at his job. But this motherfucker is not on TV enough also. Rob Parker, atrocious at his job. Not on TV enough anymore for me to put him on that list. So obviously it's a lot of guys who could be on the list. But that list, the way I took it as, is the motherfuckers who was on TV on a regular daily basis at this point. And Kendrick Perkins, Max Kellerman, Skip Bayless, and Nick Wright, for facts, should have been on that fucking list. I don't even think it's debatable about how bad these motherfuckers is. I'm looking at Max Kellerman say wild stuff about Steph Curry. And you know, this is the thing. Some people might listen and be like, oh, he don't like these dudes because of what they say about Steph Curry. No. I don't like these dudes because of how they disrespect legends. How they tear. And listen, you don't have to. I understand people think in order to give somebody credit, you got to discredit somebody else. But that is not how it works. That's not how it has to work. These motherfuckers go out of their way to intentionally discredit people. Like every fucking time you turn on First Things First and it's a KD topic, Nick Wright finding some way to discredit Steph Curry. KD or Steph Curry or anybody not named LeBron James. Like, you see if LeBron, like, bruh, let it go. LeBron. And then it's not a problem that LeBron James was knocked out of the finals. I mean, that LeBron didn't make the playoffs this year. But in the same breath, you'll go at Chris Paul, a dude who just got his team one game within the Western Conference Finals, and we going at him and he 37. But y'all use that as an excuse for why LeBron didn't make the playoffs. So I'm not understanding. And it's like I said, when Nick Wright tweeted, because you have to be a fucking moron to tweet after KD and them boys got swept. KD won the same amount of playoff games this year as LeBron James. What? Bro, LeBron didn't make the playoffs. Like, how are we living in a society where that is a cool joke? Where the majority of the people is not going under that tweet saying, bro, you cannot be serious right now, bro. Like, this man didn't even make the playoffs, and you trying to say they won the same amount of games? Like, are you serious? Like, it's no way that in 2022, that's like, that type of joke is actually considered a joke or something. Like, people liking that type shit. Like, loser type shit. And these dudes is paid to get on TV. And I'm telling you, bro, I told you, I got this big thing about the pencil pusher type shit now, bro, where these dudes like a Nick Wright. And it's so funny to me that a motherfucker like a Max Kellerman, Nick Wright, Skip Bayless, three motherfuckers who so very clearly couldn't be but these great athletes they love to shit on a lot could be, are the ones who the worst. And then, you know, I was thinking to myself the last couple of days, because I actually don't mind Kendrick Perkins. I just don't like it when he talk about the Warriors or people who he don't like. Because if for one, he is biased. He is biased. But I also don't like how Kendrick Perkins talk like his word is law and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I just find it very funny that I'm not one of them people who say like, oh, if you never played a game, you can't talk and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But bruh, if athletes tell fans and, analysts and whatnot to know their places when they talk about sports, which I think is fair. Like, you can talk about us, but understand what you are and what we are. I completely agree with that. Well, Kendrick Perkins got to understand who the fuck he is, too. Because I'm looking at this dude shit on Draymond Green on a regular basis. And Draymond Green is a future Hall of Famer, first ballot. Kendrick Perkins ain't hitting no Hall of Fame. Like, so what are we doing right now? Because it's one thing to be critiquing Draymond and critique the Warriors. Kendrick Perkins get up there and say the same regurgitated shit. And then I'm tired of people giving y'all like these false facts and false narratives or half narratives and saying that it's not hating. Because if you get on TV and you continuously tell me, oh, the Warriors going to have a tough time stopping Luka. Who going to stop Luka? Nobody can guard Luka. Luka going to go for 40-something points. The Warriors going to lose this in 6 games. Luka. Now, how can I not say that you either dick riding or hating the Warriors when you don't turn around in that same breath and say, well, now who is going to guard Steph, Clay, Steph, Clay, Poole, Wiggs, and all these other shooters on Golden State? Who gonna guard them if you saying who gonna guard Luka? Because I don't understand how you half-ass in this situation right now. How you giving us these half informations? Because all day, all I done seen people talk about on TV is Luka. I love Luka. But what are we doing right now? When is the last time the Warriors lost to a motherfucker who was not named LeBron James? And even he had to have a team then. They lost to the... And I done made it very clear. Health is a part of sports. So when they lost to Toronto in the finals, obviously, yeah. Do we think they could have won that if they was healthy? Yes. But the healthier team won. And the healthier team had help. It is what it is. But aside from that, what fucking dude? I mean, this team done beat LeBron James. They can't stop Luka. They not gonna be able to beat Luka. A Mavs team, and that's what I couldn't get my head around today when I was listening to these teams. And because I know this ain't the same Warriors team of the past, but to look at this team and look at the Mavericks and say, oh yeah, the Mavs winning this series because they won't be able to stop Luka. What? Draymond Green is a all-world defensive player. Andrew Wiggins is a all-world defensive player. I didn't even know Wiggins was this great defensively, and I watch the Warriors all the time. Did not know Wiggins was this type of fucking player defensively. I knew he was good defensively. I knew he was great defensively. I did not know he was this defensively. And I'm not saying that what he did tonight he'll be able to do to Luka all series, but when you this good defensively, it changes things in a sense. Like, I still believe Luka would be able to go get his numbers, but you make it tougher for him. You tire him out, making him have to work so hard. You know what I'm saying? Maybe before he'll take 4 shots and that'll get him about 6 points. Well, now he got to take 6, 7 shots to get 6 points. You see what I'm saying? So you make him work harder and harder to get these points and to get these shots. And ultimately, you know, that's like tonight. But we're going to get to the game tonight. I want to keep talking about these motherfuckers first. But I have no problem with, and I don't want to make it sound like I got a problem with people picking the Mavs. I don't. I do not have a problem with the people picking the Dallas Mavericks to win this series. Even though I do personally believe the people who are picking Dallas are the people who are specifically have something against Steph Curry, like some stupid ass narrative they got going against Steph Curry, or people who is specifically overhyping Luka. And I don't have a problem with people picking the Mavs, but it is kind of crazy to me because I have not heard people who legitimately, like, one of the weirdest things I heard today was JJ Redick. Like, the man went on basically a tirade on how great Luka and this Matt, and then picked the Warriors. This shit ain't making this shit. He didn't really say much good about the Warriors. He gave them a little compliment here and there, praised Luka, and then picked the Warriors. See, that type picking shit right there, I kind of have a problem with that, because to me that's bullshit. That's JJ Redick picking the Warriors, but wanting to pick the Mavs, but not wanting to be wrong. That's him basically saying, oh, well, you know, I'm going to just go with the veteran team, even though you're giving every reason out of your mouth is basically saying you should be picking. I don't like that. Just go with your gut, bruh. You want to pick the Mavs. Now, I'm pretty sure people will be praising the Warriors tomorrow, the few and far between, because the haters who hating ain't going to stop hating until the series is over. Straight up. But Nick Wright picked this team. And that's what I'm saying. KD told this motherfucker that anybody can do his job. How can you debate what KD told that motherfucker after this dude get on TV and say that the Warriors are going to lose this series in 5 games? This motherfucker basically just told you on live TV that this Golden State Warriors team is going to win 1 game against the Mavericks. This Mavericks team, this Warriors team, 1 game. This Warriors team is going to win 1 game. Let that sink in. Like, let your hate go and all that. Just let's put on your thinking caps. Let's hop back to reality for a second, okay? A team with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and a plethora of other great players led by Steve Kerr. The core of this group done been champions 3 times over. And while they might not look like that championship Warrior teams in the past, they still look like a damn great team right now. Nick Wright, A motherfucker who was on TV getting paid millions of dollars to do this shit. Got on live TV. And see, his job is to inform you. It's a lot of things a part of his job. But one thing he ain't supposed to be is bias. To say that you believe the Warriors are going to lose in 5 games is just fucking stupid. And I don't know. And I say this shit all the time when people say wild shit on TV. Oh, and she had Mad Dog Russo on that list too. I'm glad I thought about that. Because I say this all the time when bozos say shit like that. Or when bozos say wild shit. I always say... Hold up. Gotta get swig. But I always say I don't see how these motherfuckers is on TV getting paid to say shit like this. Like Mad Dog Russo, the shit he be on TV saying. Like, motherfucker said Bob Cousy is the greatest. Like, motherfuckers on TV being allowed to say shit like this. And I don't know how you can have this motherfucker on TV. Like, motherfuckers was tripping on Pat Bev disrespecting Chris Paul. This motherfucker Nick Wright and all these other analysts, like a Max Kellerman, Mad Dog Russo, and all these other dudes, disrespect legends on a daily basis, and nobody checks them. As much as Stephen A. Smith irritates me with his Kyrie and some of his other takes, and the fact that he loved going at black athletes for some reason, it feel like, as much as he irritates me with that, I never had a problem with him not liking basically Max Kellerman and wanting Max Kellerman to get off the show. Because Max Kellerman is so fucking stupid when it comes to his basketball takes that it make you want to hit that motherfucker, man. Like Stephen A. Smith, I saw a clip from First Take today, and I saw Stephen A. talking about something. And when I was listening to him, I'm like, yo, he is dead ass talking about Max Kellerman right now. Like, he is describing Max Kellerman. And I just don't know how long. Because Stephen A. seemed to be the person who, he can listen to you for a while. And while Stephen A. I know people think he seemed to be like this wild dude who said a lot of wild shit. He don't say as wild shit as people think. Like, he is not sending out hot takes on a regular basis. Like, Stephen A. is never trending because of a hot take. Like, if you just think about it, Stephen A. Smith is never trending because of a hot take. Max Kellerman, Nick Wright, Skip Bayless are constantly trending because of hot takes. Mad Dog Russo has only trended on Twitter since he got to ESPN because of and let's stop calling them hot, because of stupid ass takes. That's just stupid. Kawhi Leonard had not even put up a 40-point game in his career yet. And Max Kellerman has said that he was better than Kevin Durant already. A dude who had already led a team to an NBA championship team. No, he didn't win it, but he took a team there. Kawhi Leonard had not at that point even had to be the leader of the Spurs yet. But this thing where people want to be the first one right, that they willing to just go above and beyond and say stupid shit. Tom Brady gonna fall off a cliff. Oh, ha, ha, ha. It's funny. It's stupid. It's stupid. Like, so I'm just, and I didn't think I was going to start the show off like this tonight, but I said to myself after I got done with the show yesterday, I was like, even though Pat Bev said a lot of goofy shit about Chris Paul that I just really didn't agree with, and I'm not defending none of that goofiness he said, because like I said, it's a difference between critiquing somebody and hating on somebody. It's a big difference. And I saw Danny Green was like, bro, you be getting targeted too, bro. You a cone when you guard. I done seen Luka tell you too small, you too little. Like that Danny Green, that UNC brethren went in. But, and I agree a lot with Danny Green said. His co-host is a clown to me. I'm not going to lie to you. I know I done got to the point in my life where I'm at the age where I should know stupid from non-stupid, right? So I should know that what Will Smith did to Chris Rock was not okay. But you got motherfuckers who is old enough now who will look at that situation and say, well, he was defending his wife. Well, okay, bro. You see, and his co-hosts seem to be that type of individual. You know what I'm saying? And he also, for some reason, people continuously keep twisting what Matt Barnes said and is making it seem like Matt Barnes said role players can't speak on Hall of Famers, which is not what he said. And I love how the media and these bozos who love drama and love starting stuff, they so expert at twisting that. Because when I heard Matt Barnes say what he said, I never thought to myself, oh man, they gonna twist this and make it seem like he said nobody can, role players can't talk on greats, which is not what he said. And so, yeah, Danny Green's co-host is wild, but Buddy seemed to be the type of person, Stephen A. ultimately seemed to be the type of person to me who will eventually get irritated of Mad Dog's stupid ass takes. Because it feel to me like as much as people don't like Stephen A., it do kind of feel like he do have a high level of respect for these players, and eventually being the disrespect that eventually Mad Dog Russo's takes will become so outlandishly fucking stupid like Max Kellerman's did, that he'll start to look at him as goofy, buffoonish, disrespectful, and he won't look towards that working with him no more because his energy will start to dry out with it, and he'll move on to the next person. I think that's what's gonna end up happening because Stephen A. don't seem like, because he just don't sit around saying the moronic shit that these motherfuckers saying. You know what I'm saying? Also, just to, you know, circle back on the biasness in the media. Pat Bev was clearly being biased also, because the man told you that James Harden deserved a max contract. The way James Harden playing right now, you think James Harden deserve a max contract, and that's his homie. And you killing Chris Paul like that. And then, you know, this dude on Danny Green's podcast talking about some fucking everything Pat Bev said is based in truth though, so it wasn't really hate. What are you talking about? Bruh, if I call your wife a hoe and a slut, you're going to find that very disrespectful. But you better not get mad at me, though, and consider it disrespect. Because if your wife really is somebody who sleep around, then it's based in some type of truth. So for that reason, I can't be hating and being disrespectful by that type of logic. I mean, what? And these is dudes who in their 30s, bro. That's why I had a problem when I saw that Michael Smith thing when he was doing his brother to brother thing or whatever his podcast called with the other dude. When I saw him responding to the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing, and I saw him have that type of energy defending Will Smith and how he was getting real rambunctious and whatnot, like he was some, you know, dude that was bouted or something. Like, my man, you been on TV and shit like that on ESPN the last couple years, my dog. You followed Jemele Hill and let her cost you your fucking job too, bro. You want to say that you was riding for a cool, bro, but you was definitely not the cat that you talking like right now. And I ain't mad at you for wanting to puff out your chest and whatnot, but puff out your chest for a real situation. You a grown ass man in your 40s or something like that. And you talking about some old, he can't be talking about, like, man, shut your bitch ass up, man. He called that woman G.I. Jane, bro. That joke is stupid, like. Not to mention, I don't care how you felt about the joke. You know, in no public setting, you ain't gonna. And if you got this type of energy, bruh, to where you felt like it was being where was this energy when ESPN was disrespecting your ass all them years? How you didn't come out in a segment on your show and just randomly start going to ESPN, bruh? If you felt like that, I mean, because the way ESPN was doing your ass, they disrespecting you, your wife, your children, your family, and all that. Because the way they doing you. I'm just saying, bro. But when I saw a motherfucker with that type of energy at that age defending that type of buffoonery, I'm just like, what? Like, what? I couldn't dig it, man. Couldn't dig it. But now let's get to these games, man. Clearly, I don't like sports media people, and not all of them bad, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. I go off on these tangents about how bad some of them is, but yo, you got motherfuckers like Malika Andrews, who I constantly talk about. Malika is phenomenal at her job. I think Richard Jefferson is good. Tim Legler is a fucking legend at this point. Shannon Sharp. I don't have a problem with how much he loves LeBron James. I don't agree with a lot of some of the things he say when it pertains to LeBron. But I understand that Shannon approached basketball as a fan. He actually give great points and topics too. I just wish Shannon could work with somebody who wasn't Skip, bro. I just wish, but they will never put nobody who got the type of logical takes and things that Shannon has with another logical person. It's just never gonna happen. Because Marcellus and Acho think that they two logical people when really they are both two buffoons sitting at a fucking table. But it is what it is. But it's a lot of great analysts out there. Like Colin Cowherd, Joy Taylor. Phenomenal. Wilds. Sometimes he have ridiculous, stupid. I'm still, you know what? I'm not putting Wilds in that yet. I'm still on the fence with Wilds. Broussard. I know a lot of people don't like Chris Broussard. I have never really had a huge problem with Chris Broussard. Like, he's never really said nothing outrageous to me. He seemed to get, bruh, based off of how you judge Steph Curry, definitely, I saw somebody tweet this the other day. I base your basketball knowledge based off of how you judge Steph Curry. I base your basketball knowledge based off of what you tell me when you talk about Steph Curry and LeBron James. Because to me, those are the two greatest players of this generation. But it's a couple things that you're going to tell me that I'm going to instantly know about you off rip. If you tell me that LeBron James is the GOAT, then I'm already going to think that you're a LeBron James stan. Because I can guarantee you that your next thing going to follow up is he been to 9 finals in a row. And when you started counting how many you got to, rather how many you won, that was a problem. Okay? That is a problem for me. But that's just based off of, I don't really know how great Wilds is yet, bro. He say some shit sometimes that make me like, man, what the hell? But then I don't watch him enough to see some of his takes. Broussard, Broussard got pretty good takes. So I can rock with Broussard for a while. Plus, I just like how he called out Nick today when he was like, bro, you only making this point or saying such and such because you're going to try to use it to defend LeBron. Like, I like how he was doing that. But let's get into the game, shall we? So I'm watching this game, and most of the shit that I thought was going to happen in this game happened. For the most part, this game played out exactly, I don't want to say exactly how I planned it, how I saw it playing out, but it played out pretty close to how I saw it playing out in my when I was thinking about this game today. Now, something else that I've been hearing people say that just don't make no sense to me. People saying like, oh, the first game in the series don't matter. That was just a fill-out game and blah, blah, blah. What? In the Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, the first game of the fucking series don't matter. Like, who made up these stupid-ass sayings, bro? Like, these sayings make no sense. In the series before you have a chance to get to the finals, the first game of the series does not matter. What? That's what I'm saying, bro. Once you got these motherfuckers who never did it starting to talk about legacies and what matter and what don't matter and what do matter, like, bro, that's the problem, bro. You got motherfuckers on TV who ain't. Now listen, Shaq saying this goofy shit. Shaq is a great analyst, but that's pure entertainment, and I understand. I would never, Shaq ain't everything Shaq saying right, and everything Barkley saying right, like. But they their own people, bro. They the exceptions. But some of these other motherfuckers, man. I'm just saying, but let me get back on topic. I'm looking at this game, right? And I couldn't help but notice, who was Luka gonna guard? Who were the Mavs gonna consist? See, I kept saying, the Mavs might have been playing good defense, but the team they finna play, the Warriors, it's not the same team that they just played. The Warriors are a far better team. The Warriors might have been able to be beat by the Suns, if the Suns had got it. But I didn't think Phoenix was going to lose to the Mavericks. I just want to keep putting that out there. So when I say stuff like this, just recognize I did not think that Phoenix was losing that series. But so when I say I didn't think that the Mavs was the type of team to beat the Warriors, just understand I never thought this motherfucking team was getting to this point. Okay? Let's just put it like that. When I look at that series, because to me, if you really good at your job, you would go back and analyze the series and truly look at the things that went right, went wrong. Luka Doncic and this team played great. Luka Doncic starting to let other people get involved and whatnot. All that was great. They only blew this team out. Well, actually, they blew them out in the last 2 games because they won those 2 games by 60. But the series changed, not because of how great Luka and this team started playing. It changed because of how bad Chris Paul started playing. But it feel like people acknowledge that, but then you go to this next series they play against the Warriors, and you just completely forget it. It's just, oh, Luka did great, so that's why they won. What? Yeah, Luka played great, bro, but Chris Paul just averaged 9 points through 5 games. He would not shoot the ball. You essentially had one dude on your team who could go get his own shot, and they started to send the dogs at him once they realized Chris Paul was done. That's not the Warriors team. Like any smart analyst who do their job would have stopped and said, well, they would have to find a way to Steph Curry and Klay are not going to not be shooting the ball like Chris Paul. Jordan Poole is not going to not be shooting the ball like Chris Paul. So let's just get that out the way first. You're not finna have 3 dudes on the Warriors who can go get you points, not just not shooting the ball. Like, they will be coming at you all game. Second off, this ain't the offense that they run in Golden State is not the offense run in Phoenix. The offense in Phoenix is predicated on Chris Paul being great. Chris Paul run the show. He set people up. And then you got Devin Booker who do his thing to the side here and there. But for the most part, Chris Paul run this offense. That's why they looked so different when Chris Paul was being guarded the way he was, because they wasn't used to him not being able to set them up and do what he do, penetrate and do all the type of things. The looks that you get when he was penetrating, kicking it out to you wide open, you don't got those type of looks now. Now you taking shots with dudes' hands in your faces and whatnot. So I'm looking at this series and I'm thinking, well, going into this series, I'm thinking, and I'm hearing people talk about this. And I'm like, do people not realize that this Golden State team is not like Mikal Bridges is not a scorer. I also think as good as Mikal Bridges is defensively, this is why you need to learn playing good defense in the regular season. That's cool. That's cool. Playing defense in the playoffs. Well, that's the interesting thing, because Rudy Gobert continues to win a Defensive Player of the Year, but get his ass lit up in the playoffs. Draymond Green does not win Defensive Player of the Year as much as he should. Continues to lock motherfuckers up in the playoffs. Shines in the playoffs. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, a two-way player. I saw somebody say today that Jimmy Butler had an average season. What? Like, this is what I'm saying, man. Pencil pushers and motherfuckers who never did it talking about legacies and shit, bro. Got the game in shambles, like KD said, bro. Fuck the parlays, man. These motherfuckers' mouths, bro. Like, bruh. Jimmy. Anyways, man. So, I'm looking at this game tonight. And, you know, it's interesting that people kept talking about, oh, who gonna stop Luka? Who gonna stop Luka? Go look at this game. Nobody could stay in front of Jordan Poole for the Dallas Mavericks. Like, I noticed that as I was watching this game, and Jordan Poole played a very young game. He did a lot of things in this game that I didn't think was. He just did a lot of things, a lot of foolish things in this game. If you really paid close attention to it, I'm not saying he had a completely bad game, but Jordan Poole could get past anybody he wanted to. I don't know if he realized that, but Jordan Poole he could get past it. If he had noticed that and made his dribbles more efficient and stopped wasting dribbles with the over dribbling, which Jordan Poole does do sometimes, then he would have realized nobody could stay in front of him. Nobody. So I imagine that's a matchup that they'll exploit more once they look at the tape. Because in the second half, in that third quarter, where it all just went downhill for him, Jordan Poole got past his man nearly every fucking time. Now, for the Mavericks, people talking about how they missed a lot of open shots, and you know, I think it's wild. Like, I'm listening to Charles Barkley say, the Mavericks win this, they just got to hit knockdown shots. Well, yeah, that's both teams, bruh. Both teams hit their shot. Got to hit shots to win the game, bruh. That's very stupid. That's what I'm saying. It's like people want the Mavericks to beat the Warriors so bad, bro. That's why I'm like, this got to be a Steph Curry thing, because y'all done hated every iteration of this Warriors championship team. Y'all only like these motherfuckers when y'all thought they was just cute Warriors team, shoot a lot of threes, couldn't win nothing. As soon as this motherfucking team started to religiously beat your team and keep your team, they the Michael Jordan of this era, this team. This Warriors team is the Michael Jordan of this era. They stop all your favorite teams from winning. They stop all your favorite teams from being great. All your favorite players can't get to that mountaintop because of them. And y'all hate them. That's got to be what this is. Because this built-in hate that motherfuckers got for Steph and the Warriors, it just don't make no sense. It would I would think that this would be the model. Draft 3 dudes like that, be able to build around them and do the type of things that the Warriors done to sustain this franchise's winning window for this long. I think it's amazing. They don't win against things that people said, like people were saying trade Poole, trade Wiggins, and all that. And mind you, every iteration of this team, it feel like they reject the notion of trading somebody. But remember when they was telling people was telling them they need to trade Klay Thompson for Kevin Love? Oh, that would have been just fucking stupid. Oh boy. Good thing they never did that shit. See, that's why they do their job. That's why Bob Myers and them boys run the show and we just the fans and shit, bro. Bob know what he doing, bro. I don't even know why I question him. That move alone right there should have people never questioning him. I remember when motherfuckers was like, oh, they paid Klay too much money. They ain't pay that man enough money. Then you got the media out here costing that man $30 million, bro. It's a shame, really. But let's get back to this game. Luka Doncic, I love the way Wiggins guarded him. And if Wiggins, so the way Wiggins was able to defend him tonight, and obviously it's going to take more than just one person defending Luka Doncic, but I was looking at that Miami game last night thinking to myself, man, if Golden State play defense like this and they round against Luka, they will win that series. And both, they play defense like that tonight. And it always helped when Andrew Wiggins can carry his own for so long without having to have people pick up and help at all times. You know, it gives him confidence, and the fact that he attacked Luka Luka could not rest. And I think that's ultimately going to hurt the Mavericks in this series, because as good as I think Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie are, they can hit shots. Brunson can get his shot off a couple times a game. They can't do it at the rate that Luka can do it at. And they don't, to me, while they could get shots here and there, it's going to be hard for them to consistently make important buckets and get the important shots and go on big runs against this team, because the Warriors' defense is a great defense, and it's been a great defense for a long time. The Warriors' only Achilles heel is legit turning the fucking ball over. When they turn the ball over, they just give away the ball. It stifled them, and it put the team back in the game. If the Warriors, but this series specifically, if the Warriors can operate their offense the way they do, I just think it's going to be so hard for Luka to dominate this series like he did. Because when I say dominate, I'm not talking about Luka going for, 40-something points. You can shoot 50 shots and get 40 points. I could care less about that. When I say dominate this series, I'm talking about him scoring efficient and effective, not even efficient. Him scoring important buckets, meaning making his points, scoring 41 important points, getting other people involved and having their buckets and stuff being important too. I just think that's going to be tough, because also they're going to keep continuing to make him play defense on the other end. And Luka can't play deep. Well, Luka doesn't play defense, because it's one thing to not be able to play defense at all. I get it if you just cannot play defense, but even people who can't play defense can try. Sometimes it don't really feel like Luka even be trying. The more and more I keep seeing people say that Luka remind him of James Harden, the more and more he keep reminding me of James Harden. And I hope that that's not who he actually remind me of at the end of it all. But I do see the comparisons that people have with him and James Harden right now. But I just think it's going to be so hard for Luka to operate at that high level throughout the entirety of a 7-game series if it went that long. And to get 4 wins against this Warriors team, who I just don't think is going to allow the Mavericks to do what they did against the Suns. Not to mention, one of the reasons the Suns got their asses whooped in them last 2 games is because not only did their defense not come through like it did during the regular season, but they couldn't score. They couldn't score the ball. The Warriors have multiple scores and multiple cuts, and they're not just relying on the 3-ball and whatnot. I mean, look at how Klay Thompson got going in this game. It didn't score in the first half, didn't hit a shot. In the second half, they get him going with a couple cuts to the basket to get him easy looks. Kevon Looney was phenomenal in this game. I mean, you look at Golden State and how the fact that they done basically out-rebounded every team they done played in the playoffs, except for one game against the Grizzlies. These motherfuckers continue to out-rebound people. And they play small ball. And obviously when they do have Kevon Looney on the floor, he do his job. And shout out to Kevon Looney, because his ability to play great and switch situations when he have to be switched onto a smaller guard, knowing what to do to make the most of it out of that matchup and whatnot. That Kevon Looney, man, true warrior, bro. True warrior. Never get it. Obviously, if you're a Warrior fan and you look at the Warriors, they give Kevon a lot of love and a lot of credit. That's one of the reasons I love Steph and these boys. They give everybody on the team love at all times. They make sure you know all the dudes. But the media might not talk about Kevon Looney as much. But Kevon did a great job when he got switched on to different people. Like, so many different dudes did their jobs in this game and made it tough for Luka and made Luka play in traffic. I think that's one of the biggest things you're going to have to do, which I think Golden State can do. Make Luka play in traffic. You cannot have Luka playing one-on-one ball every game in this series. Not to mention, Golden State will be a team that if they look at this and say, well, Luka playing one-on-one ball but not getting nobody else involved, the offense is really stagnant, he running the clock all the way down by dribble, they'll let that happen. They done dealt with that with James Harden for the last couple years. And I really think the only way that I can't believe I just smacked my teeth like that, bro. You know who I hate watching because of how much he smack his teeth? And I done said it before. That motherfucker Manuel Acha. Motherfucker smack his teeth more than anybody I done ever heard talk, bro. It's crazy. But that motherfucker had an outlandish take on weed also, bro. I don't think I ever really talked about that. But man, I'm telling you, bro. Anyways, made me forget what I was talking about. But yeah, I really forgot what I was talking about because of that. So I just go to something else. Either way, going back to the Warriors and Mavericks series. Boy, so when I look at how Kevon Looney and these Andrew Wiggins and how they made Luka play in traffic and whatnot, that's going to be the key. Because if Luka playing one-on-one and whatnot, obviously you don't want him doing that. But like I said, if you get to the point where he's doing that and it's killing clock, it's not really getting other people involved, you'll live with that. Luka can go get 50 if the rest of his starters combine for like 15, 20 points. They have no problem playing in that type of game. So I'm very interested. I think what I want to see the most about this series is what everybody's seeing in Dallas. I think that's what I want to see the most. And it's not me shitting on Dallas. Like, because it might sound like I am, but I love Luka. I didn't love Luka before this year. I'm just a realist, and I'm not about to overhype Luka and set him up for failure. And just because I want to be the first to the party to say, oh, Luka was going to be great. Motherfucker, you knew Luka was going to be great last year and the year before that. Like, you putting these... And then if this team don't get it done, they're going to shit all over the role players for the Mavericks. But, 1 second. They say yawning is contagious, bro. But Luka in this series, okay? Because I do think, like I said, I'm not gonna be nobody who put all that pressure on Luka and like, oh, he the best. No. I do not think Luka is the best player in his playoffs or nothing like that. But if Luka was to get this, because like I said, I'm interested to see this Mavs team. Because the way people talk about Luka, if Luka get this team past the Warriors, then yeah, you can go ahead and rank him as the best player in the league. But I saw somebody today say that they have Luka as a better player than Durant, Curry, LeBron. Like, what? Like, and what you got to understand is, I guess why this is so wild to me, it's not just because it's not true, but also because these are the same people on TV that continuously is trying to tell me Steph Curry is not a great player. Like, this is what they doing on TV on a regular basis, is trying to convince us that Steph's not a great player. But right now, Luke is, like, I don't understand how he's stripping achievements for certain players and giving, overhyping other players' achievements who haven't really achieved anything. I saw somebody, like, it's just ridiculous. But getting back to this game, the Dallas defense is going to have to tighten up too, because, like I said, Dallas's defense in that Suns series is different because you don't have Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. Jay Crowder had a decent series, but all these other dudes on the Suns, can't go get their own looks. You're not scared they can beat you. Those are the type of things where you like make them beat you. I mean, make those guys beat us. Like, we're not going to let Devin Booker get his rocks off. Make the others beat us. Well, you don't want Klay to have to beat you because he can. You don't want Jordan Poole to have to beat you because he can. You don't want that to happen. And what's so interesting about this series is they cannot use the same type of defense they did against Chris Paul. Because the way they played Chris Paul to basically stop him from setting up the offense and whatnot, which really killed Phoenix, you can't really do that in this series because Draymond can bring the ball up and run the offense. Curry can bring the ball up and run the offense. So, because they have different dudes who can bring the ball up and run the offense and get the offense in, I mean, Kevon Looney brought the ball up once tonight. I don't think that game plan would be as effective as it was against Phoenix for the simple reason Phoenix is so heavily reliant on Chris Paul. I'm very interested to see how this series go because I don't think this series going past 6 games. And I don't want to keep saying I'd be shocked if the Mavericks win games. It was just very shocking to me that they beat Phoenix because I thought Phoenix was the best team in the league. I wouldn't be shocked if Dallas win a game in this series. I would be shocked if Dallas won 2 games. Now, me saying that, it'll probably happen. But I'm not going to lie. I would be shocked because I just think that the Golden State Warriors are a better team. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm taking a shot at Monty Williams, but I just think, Steve Kerr is a better all-around overall coach. He done been there, done that. He done played in bigger games than the Eastern Conference Finals. Steve Kerr would have had his team, look, the Warriors could have went to a Game 7 and lost if they had played. Let's switch the Warriors out and the Phoenix Suns out, switch them. If that was the Warriors playing against Dallas in a Game 7, the Warriors would have been up for that game because Steve Kerr done been there, done that. The dudes on that team done been there, done that. They done played for bigger stakes on the line. They wouldn't have laid an egg in that game. I'm not saying they would have won the game, but they wouldn't have got blasted by 40 plus fucking points and been down by damn near 50 at one point in time in the game. 46 points. That's what I am saying. So I just think all the things that people just refuse to acknowledge about the Warriors or just seem to want to forget or hope would not exist anymore. Yeah, it's real. It's weird in that regard because, like I said, I want to see what these Mavericks do because, like I said, this bozo Nick Wright talking about some 5 games. I can't get that out of my head. 5 games. You thought this was going to be a 5-game? Hey, and what's so wild about tonight, Steph Curry didn't even play in the fourth quarter. He didn't play a single second of the fourth quarter. Steph only scored 21 points tonight. They won by damn near 30. You telling me that this is the best you think the Warriors will play? Plus, what in the fuck could Nick Wright have seen to make him believe that the Warriors were only going to win one game in this series? If you tell me it was because they got blasted by the Grizzlies, then that's just contradicting everything you're going to say tomorrow when you get on TV and say, well, one game doesn't judge the series. Well, you saw the Warriors lose by that much and instantly thought they were going to lose, and that made you determine the next series they was in. Like, what? They need to start a petition to get that motherfucker off TV, man. Y'all don't understand. I've been tweeting I done started putting at the beginning of my tweets when I'm finna tweet about them motherfuckers. Like, I know I shouldn't have a problem this deep, but I do. And it just is what it is. I don't care. Like, that's where I'm at on the topic at this point, bro. Dead ass, bro. Because I just don't like them motherfuckers, man. And it's not like I don't like them as human beings. I don't like them as sports analysts. But I'm going to be dead ass. The way those dudes is allowed to operate, I just can't imagine they too much different as humans. I just don't feel like I would like them motherfuckers as human beings either. And that's all right. They might not like my ass either. I'm pretty sure they won't like me, especially if they don't smoke blunts. What I will say about Dallas is this, though. It was always going to be hard to get up for this type of... Well, no, that's not how I'm going to say it. Because, no, it's not going to be hard to get up for this type of game because it's... You win this game, that's a one game down to get into the finals. But it was going to be hard to be great in this game because you are coming off of a Game 7, even though that's just realistic that it would be hard because of the short travel. You traveling from Phoenix right to Golden State, not back to Dallas. So it was going to be hard, but... That's why you try to win these series before to get to the 7. But you don't want these series to go 7 games. That's why it makes no sense when a motherfucker say, oh, you know, the first game's a fill out. We don't really care about that. What? And that's not players saying that. That was different analysts I heard saying that. Now, Friday... The Mavs gonna have what, a day of rest? I mean, shit. They coming off of 2 days of rest though now, ain't they? I don't know, but it don't get no easier, bro. It's the playoffs, bro. You gotta suck that up. Last game was 7 games. You don't get those games back. You don't get those rest days back. So Friday, I do think the Mavs will come out with a little bit more energy than they came out with tonight. But I just don't see Golden State losing at home. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not saying that they can't lose at home. I just don't think they will lose at home. I saw a stat tonight, too, that said Golden State like 19-1 in the conference finals when they start 1-0 in the series. I think that was a stat that I saw. Don't hold me to it, though. Don't hold me to that, because I could have saw the wrong stat, and I don't want motherfuckers saying, oh, he said, yeah, we're not doing that. But like Clay said, it's just one game. We got to get 3 more of them things. So, with that, I appreciate you for joining me. Really wasn't even that much of a breakdown. More so, we'll get more in depth on the next episode, man. We got to talk to more. We going to be back tomorrow anyways, talking about the Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But Game 1, man, the Warriors, I mean, they ran them. They ran them off the court. They protected home court. I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. Still trying to find ways to grow the audience. To grow the audience, to grow the viewers. And I'm doing what I got to do to make the product even better, man. I appreciate y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all for fucking with me. I appreciate y'all for kicking it with me for a couple minutes. a lot of minutes. Hey, one time I was in. Nah, I tell that story on a different day. I fuck with you. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Give my Dukes a hug and a kiss. Tell Pops you fuck with him and you love him. Sing out.
Hey, right out. Got my niggas in the bag blowing white outs. We gon' bump this shit real deep into the night hours. Keep it 199, just ain't my style. Sing the time, staring out the window of the night route. They never ever understood for the most part. Hey, wonder how them niggas treated Mozart. Hey, did they try to put him on the Zoloft? Oh nah, I was penalized for being too alive. 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 I was